Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. And they enter play here, number 11, just outside the top 10 in the league in stopping the run.
I always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles, man on man. And are you going to win that battle? You're going to whip the guy across from you and get to the ball carrier, wrap him up, and put him on the ground. Because the one thing he absolutely detested was yards after contact. Tackle him, put him down on the spot.
He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. Nice pickup for a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go now.
Here's a give to Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
It's caught. Shepard. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 58 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a third down. A look at the starters down the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. Jabril Peppers, the former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Set to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Here we go now.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A handoff to Barkley. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And it's fielded at the 34. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Onto the field now come the Bears. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They're going to look to throw. A man over the middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley gets by him at the 25. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. 7-0 is our score. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
All right, here we go.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Here we go. Green, 39.
He's going to get it running right. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. They'll drop the throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Well, that'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that way. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's got the 1st down. He's got a big game going right now. Already over 100 yards receiving in this first half alone.
Here we
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go.
Now it's Barkley, able to slither by. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Giants add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Bears on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
This is Barkley. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
All right, here we go. Green.
He'll look to throw. It fights him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Eddie Goldman breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Green.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Miller on the catch over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. This is Miller. Complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Back to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
And they'll run it here. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. So we've reached reach halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And in the second quarter, it's the Redskins who are out in front. The Redskins trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's make the quick trip up the Parkway and check in on the Ravens at home in Baltimore. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting Tennessee Titans. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And that game level as they take on the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle that time by Sidney Jones.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They've got to just pin their ears back and get after them now.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. It escapes the sack. And now he's swallowed up and taken down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is brought in at the 21. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
The Giants on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19. Leopard.
Now back to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll power his way up near the 25. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Black. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 51 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And New York set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Able to push his way through. Keeps himself upright. Now he's flushed out right. Now he'll escape to his right. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll run with Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The Giants on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Darian Thompson. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. But the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Here we go now. Green 30.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 1st quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
They come out here in the eye. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. In for the score. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a second down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
And Miller with it over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season. They got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I'm just going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big. They had to try something. No one was fooled.
You're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt them too much. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Giants on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken around the 12. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll look to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here we go now.
They'll drop to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Giants on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Now let's go.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 40 yards. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Giants, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.